Did you know that you could be making etiquette mistakes every day and not even realizing it? We'll tell you about 8 common ones and how to avoid them. Being a gentleman in the modern day no longer requires governing your life by outdated social norms or conventions. However, putting forth an effort to make others feel appreciated and comfortable remains a hallmark of modern gentlemanly behavior and the most important aspect of etiquette. A quick note here that today's video is about everyday etiquette situations. For special occasions, you can consult our party and wedding guest etiquette guides. For everything else, you can consult our full etiquette playlist, and let us know which other social situations you'd like to see get their own etiquette guides by leaving a comment below. With that then, let's get into today's list of etiquette mistakes, starting with number 1, appearing to ignore others. Showing respect to others has always been a central component of good conduct, and few things are less respectful than ignoring those around you. And this issue is especially common when you're being addressed. After all, if you've got something to say, you probably expect others to pay attention to you. Therefore, it's equally important that you pay attention to others when they're speaking. Staring off into the middle distance, handling or checking your phone, or appearing to lose track of the conversation will make it clear to your interlocutor that you're ignoring them and therefore not respecting what they have to say. You can also take other steps to avoid the appearance that you're not paying attention to the conversation, such as by removing headphones or earbuds when talking to someone. You might know that you're not listening to anything at the time, but the person speaking to you might not know that. And it can be off-putting to wonder if the person you're talking to is rocking out to a favorite tune or listening to a true crime podcast rather than paying attention to what you're saying. On that note, conversations offer a whole host of politeness pitfalls, but you can learn how to avoid more of these by consulting our video on 10 conversational mistakes. Our number 2 mistake in today's list is talking on speakerphone while in public. Conversely to our last point about not being a member of a conversation, this etiquette point has to do with making everyone else an involuntary participant in your conversation. When you're in a public space, you should moderate your tone to accommodate the circumstances. Or, using more juvenile terms, inside voices, please. And with smartphone speakerphones, not only is the voice of your conversational partner being electronically projected, especially if you've got your volume set to max, but you're likely going to be speaking more loudly as well in order to make sure that your voice reaches the receiver and to talk over any outside or crowd noise. It's almost like speakerphone wasn't designed to be used in public spaces. So, while it isn't impolite to simply speak on your phone in most public settings, it is impolite to use your phone in a distracting way, such as having your speakerphone blasting. And if you have trouble hearing your phone through its built-in earpiece, consider investing in a Bluetooth headset or earbud. You'll hear your phone conversations better, and no one else will. Just make sure that you take that earbud out before switching to in-person conversation. Number 3 on our list today is misunderstanding door-holding etiquette. You may have heard that as a gentleman, one is obligated to hold doors open for ladies. But in the modern day, this convention has been altered somewhat. While you shouldn't assume that you must go out of your way to hold the door open for any woman, or any person for that matter, you should hold the door open for anyone who needs it, regardless of gender. This is simple, common courtesy if you find yourself in a situation where someone else would clearly benefit from having the door held open for them. Perhaps they're carrying something cumbersome, they have small children with them, or you're just conveniently positioned to be able to hold open the door. Conversely, though, you shouldn't go out of your way or make a big show to hold a door open for someone. The fact of the matter is, doubling back to hold a door open for a woman or anyone else can come off as affected and artificial. And of course, if and when someone asks for a door to be held open for them, you should make every effort to accommodate them. So, hold doors open for everyone when it makes sense for you to do so, but don't artificially insert yourself into a situation where you're holding the door. After all, you're not the doorman at the Ritz. Next up here is number 4, not introducing yourself or others. Meeting someone new or facilitating greetings between unacquainted friends is a great opportunity to spark up fantastic conversation. But don't skip over this crucial first step by forgetting to introduce respective parties to one another. Introductions ensure that all parties at least know how to address one another, and they can also provide context for the conversation. For instance, if you're meeting someone for the first time, you could say something like, "Good afternoon, Mr. Cobblepot. My name is Preston, and I'm so grateful that you've chosen to talk to me about penguins today." Or if you're introducing two unacquainted people, you could say something like, "Ms. Abernathy, this is my friend Ms. Kyle. I understand that you two have a shared interest in cats." Believe it or not, there are many permutations to the correct order, phraseology, and tenor of introductions, but we cover all of this in our comprehensive guide to introducing yourself and others. We will say here, though, that whenever you're being introduced to someone else, you should make an effort to stand to greet them if you're able, to prevent any awkward introductions to someone's navel. Similarly, when greeting any acquaintance, it is usually nicest and most polite to stand or at least partially rise to greet someone, especially in more formal situations like at a party or restaurant. You should, however, read the room and use common sense when determining whether or not it's necessary to rise for an introduction. If you're casually watching football with friends and someone new enters the room, you don't need to spill your chips and salsa to cross the room and shake their hand. But when practical, greetings always seem much more pleasant when shared by standing individuals. And our mention of handshakes brings up our next point nicely. Number 5, misunderstanding handshake etiquette. Numerous social, cultural, and health factors have all contributed to the decline of handshaking as a greeting in the West. So, if you or anyone else prefers not to shake hands, that is perfectly acceptable in the modern day. If, however, you're greeting a group of people and you offer to shake hands with any one member of the group, then you should extend this offer and shake hands with every member of said group. This is because intentionally neglecting to shake someone's hand is an obviously disrespectful and cutting action. A perception persists among some men that they should not shake women's hands, stemming from a historic protocol that men should not presume to touch women that they have just met, and they should in turn wait for the woman to extend her hand if she so desired. This convention doesn't survive in the modern business world, however, and has vanished in all but the most rarefied social circles. So, when shaking hands, extend your hand freely to everyone, but if someone politely declines to shake your hand, then respect their wishes as well. And if you wish to learn even more about how to shake hands like a gentleman, then I'll hand you the link to our full guide. We will give you one bonus suggestion here, though, which is that if at all possible, you should remove any gloves you're wearing before shaking hands with someone. Traditionally, gloves were worn at least partially to protect the hands from the dirt and grime of the outside world, so one would never presume to shake the bare hand of another with their own gloved hand. That being said, if you're quickly passing someone on a cold and frosty day and you both opt to leave your gloves on for a quick shake, this is perfectly acceptable. After all, it's extremely unlikely that anyone is going to take their gloves off and slap you with them for dishonorable conduct. Next up today is number 6, unhygienic conduct and contact. Socially, we're now increasingly aware of the impact that individual health can have on communal health. So it's definitely a breach of etiquette and basic good hygiene to engage in any behavior that spreads or seems to spread germs. Having just finished talking about shaking hands, we're now especially mindful of the faux pas of sneezing directly into your hands. Not only does this risk spreading germs onto every surface you touch, but if someone observes you doing it, they're likely to be put off, to say the least. Accordingly, every time you cough, sneeze, belch, or do anything else that might spread germs, you should at least make an effort to do so into your elbow, or better yet, a handkerchief. In fact, a handy hanky is one of the 7 products Kyle recommends to boost your own hygiene in this video. Few things are more impolite than making others sick, so practice good manners by practicing good hygiene. Our penultimate item today is number 7, not expressing thanks. Etiquette centers around not only making others feel comfortable and respected, but also appreciated. So, when someone does you a good turn, the least that you can do is say thank you. This could be in a simple and obvious setting, like for instance, saying thank you to someone who has held the door open for you. Or it could be more personal, like thanking someone at work who has helped you with a project, or thanking someone who has picked you up from the airport. For some business and many social occasions, especially after being a guest at someone's home or receiving a gift, the most proper thing you can do etiquette-wise is to give them a handwritten thank you note. A simple note is a thoughtful and considerate gesture that's likely to make the host or gift giver feel appreciated, especially as it's becoming increasingly rare these days to do so. Thankfully, we can teach you how best to express your thanks in our guide to thank you notes and other written correspondence. Finally today, we'll close our list with a somewhat ironic rule, number 8, being too much of a stickler for etiquette. By this, we don't mean that you shouldn't follow conventional and appropriate etiquette rules. After all, that's pretty much what we've been suggesting throughout today's entire video. But, as we noted in several of our points, there are certain times and places where certain etiquette rules need not be enforced. And doing so in these situations might make others feel uncomfortable or disrespected, which is actually the opposite effect of what good etiquette should accomplish. A stuffy and obsessive dedication to precise etiquette rules can come off as antiquated and unpleasant. Obviously, you should never use your knowledge of etiquette to belittle or mock others, and in very few situations should you ever attempt to correct others' etiquette in public. And you should also refrain from insisting upon etiquette that is infeasible or incongruous with your current environment. As an example here, if you're a high school student in your cafeteria, standing and shaking hands with everyone who sits at your table will seem dramatic and unnecessary. Meanwhile, butting into a business conversation to introduce two people who are already talking to each other won't accomplish anything and will interrupt the flow of the conversation already in progress. As with most things in life, a little bit of introspection and common sense should guide you when it comes to how to behave around others. So, when you're practicing good etiquette, you should be following the spirit, if not always the letter, of its conventions. Of the 8 etiquette mistakes we highlighted today, which one do you find most upsetting? Let us know in the comments below. And please, keep things civil. We also invite you to let us know if there are any additions you think should be made to our list while I run down today's outfit. In today's video, I'm wearing a smart casual outfit, good for a relatively informal outing, perhaps introducing friends. The main element is my medium blue cardigan sweater, which I'm wearing over a shirt from Charles Tyrwhitt featuring a microgrid pattern of red and blue on a white ground. The cardigan has an especially casual character, as evidenced by its 2 flapped patch pockets, and while the shirt does have French cuffs, I'm wearing simple black links and I've got the cuffs configured in a barrel style to fit better under the sweater sleeves. My trousers are plain brown, though they do feature a reddish undertone to harmonize with the red tones in my shirt, and for another casual touch, I'm wearing dark blue suede loafers. These are from Henry Stevens, which is the new mark from the Austrian brand Heinrich Dinkelocker. My socks are our shadow-striped models in navy blue and red, and the fragrance I'm wearing, for obvious reasons, is blue suede shoes from the Roberto Ugolini collection. You can find the socks I'm wearing in today's video, along with a wide array of other classic men's accessories and other fragrances in the Ugolini collection, by visiting the Fort Belvedere shop here.